I went into this thinking I was gonna get a 3 out of 10. Straight garbage. I was expecting trash. It's more like a 6 out of 10. It wasn't that bad. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to HoViews, and today we're going to be talking about Space Jam: A New Legacy. Got to use that term because this is not a sequel, it's actually a reboot, and it's very much its own thing. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far. Help me to keep the channel growing. I did this thing bullet point style, so I'm going to just run through them as quick as I can. First thing, most important thing, probably the most divisive thing. LeBron James is a much better actor than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Now there are going to be people who's going to feel like, yeah, LeBron James could not hold anything to Michael Jordan. Stop. LeBron is much better on camera than Michael Jordan was. You cannot go back and watch the original Space Jam and tell me Michael Jordan in that was better than LeBron James was in this. I just don't want to hear it. The story of this one is actually much better than the story in the first one. Just more heartfelt, more meaningful, just better, I feel. The cast of this movie, regardless of how much they're in the movie or not, the cast is much better in this one than they were in the first. In the first one you had Michael Jordan, Bill Murray, Wayne Knight. That is pretty much it. And then like a few basketball cameos, like basketball player cameos. Not really anything special from those guys. In this one you have Sonequa Martin Green, David Yin, you got Sarah Silverman, you got LeBron, and you got Don Cheadle. And even though you have those people, they don't necessarily really bring a whole bunch. The time that they are on camera is much better than most of the stuff we got in the first one from that supporting cast. Another good point is that the thing that carried this movie and made it really watchable to me is the interactions between the Toons and all the other Warner Brothers properties. That made it relatively interesting. It got the attention of my daughters who really didn't want to watch it, and also kind of kept me engaged to see what they would do with each different property. One of the things that really made this movie watchable is that fact that there were very good, funny, or heartfelt moments spaced pretty well throughout the movie. That's kind of the only way I got through it, because honestly, I didn't really want to see this. Going back to my kids, I think the biggest negative in relation to this movie is that this is primarily a children's vehicle. This is for, let's say, 7 to 12-ish. That's the range, as I imagine it. And my kids didn't want to watch it. My daughter is 7. She did not want to see any parts of the beginning of this movie. She only became moderately interested, as well as my 3-year-old, only became moderately interested when everything was animated. They watched those parts. But as soon as they digitized the Toons, I think that was a misstep, because they looked funny and the kids kind of checked out at that point. Now, toward the tail end, once the game was, settled and the Toons became Toons again, you get to see my kids kind of re-engage, and I was like, oh, so y'all like cartoons, not this 3D stuff. That's a design choice, that's their choice. I think it was a misstep. I think it was a negative. My overall thought in summation of the movie is this. I went into this thinking I was gonna get a 3 out of 10. Straight garbage. I was expecting trash from the first trailer that I saw to right now. But looking at it and watching the whole film, I must say it's more like a 6 out of 10. It wasn't that bad. It definitely could have been worse. And it was much better than I expected. Like twice as good as I thought it would be. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you thought. Enjoy yourself. Guard your heart. Come back and check out more videos.